Wow, friends! Lawmakers have established several new crisis relief programs. These new initiatives will provide billions of dollars in financial aid to many low-income Americans. This includes financial assistance for housing, groceries, and much more. Up to $1,000 in stimulus checks is available to be claimed immediately. Friends, this is the latest breaking news on stimulus. Please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for all of the new details. Also, to say thank you for joining me here every day, I'm giving away 4 $75 Walmart gift cards every week. Please enter the giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you leave a comment on, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. During the months of October, November, and December, I will be surprising several of you with $200 gift cards, especially to those who have been in this community for several months. The crisis dealt with a huge financial blow to millions of Americans. Back in 2020, when job loss was abundant, many tenants quickly fell behind on their rent payments in the absence of having money in savings to tap. Lawmakers put an eviction ban in place to prevent a massive homelessness crisis when the crisis first began. But that federal eviction ban expired last year, and since then, many tenants with outstanding rent-related debts have been at risk of losing their home. The good news is that the last 2 stimulus bills that were signed into law allocated billions of dollars in rent relief funds. And even though rent relief programs kicked off last year, some cities and counties are getting fresh rounds of funding for rental assistance purposes. The state of New Mexico announced this week that has provided over $194 million through the Emergency Rental Assistance Program in rent and utility assistance to New Mexico residents. The money is expected to help over 54,000 New Mexico households avoid utility disconnection and eviction. The program is part of the federal package that was first made available in April 2021. According to the state, participants in the program received an average of $4,000 for rent and $740 for their utility bills. The state of Connecticut's rental assistance program has also received an $11 million boost in funding from the federal government, meaning that more financial aid will be available for tenants who are in need. Over the past few months, the U.S. Department of Treasury has been redistributing money from states and localities that were slow to spend their money. The Rent Aid program aims to prevent evictions of people who struggled financially during the crisis. After a slow start, as the state set up its program in early 2021, Connecticut picked up the pace on distributing its funds and has received additional money under the reallocation. The state had previously requested about $243 million from the federal government in a document submitted late last year. According to the state, on average, households receive about $8,300 in rental assistance and nearly $1,500 in utility assistance. The key word for this video is cherry tree. If you would like to enter the next Walmart gift card giveaway, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below this keyword, which is cherry tree, and additional keywords of any video of mine that you watch. And do make sure, friends, that you are subscribed to my channel. Multiple states have already approved new stimulus packages to ease residents' economic concerns. And some states are planning to begin sending out more payments in the next coming months. For 6 months last year, parents across the United States received monthly checks. The expanded child tax credit lasted from July to December 2021. The program helped keep millions of children fed and out of poverty, touching 35 million families. But since the expanded child tax credit checks have been paused, lawmakers in the state of Vermont signed off on a $1,000 child tax credit for every child age 5 and under to all households earning $125,000 or less. Phil Scott, Vermont's governor, had initially proposed a wider suite of tax cuts. In a statement, Governor Scott said his proposals would have helped a broader cross-section of taxpayers, but that this bill is a step in the right direction. The program is expected to cost $32 million and benefit over 30,000 children in the state. Vermont's child tax credit caps at $1,000 per child under the age of 6. This is a permanent credit. With the new bill, Vermont is picking up where the federal government left off. The expanded child tax credit lapsed in December 2021 due to resistance from Republicans and Senator Joe Manchin, who was a centrist Democrat from West Virginia. In Colorado, Governor Jared Polis signed legislation that will provide residents with a tax rebate. Governor Polis signed a bill to provide residents of Colorado a tax rebate of $750 for individual filers and $1,500 for joint filers. The state's Department of Revenue said in a statement, "This law will provide immediate relief to residents of Colorado by sending you a check now instead of spring of 2023, and the Colorado Department of Revenue are working hard to make sure that you get the right tax refund amount as soon as possible." According to the state's Department of Revenue, for residents who received an extended tax filing deadline of October 17, 2022, you will receive your tax rebate check by January 31st, 2023. Well, my magnificent and marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this afternoon. Thank you so much, my dear friends, for joining me here every day. And I want you all to know that I greatly appreciate you. Remember, dear friends, I'll be announcing several more winners for the $200 Walmart gift card giveaway and also the $75 Walmart gift card. Please make sure that you enter the keywords in the comment section below and do stay tuned for those videos. Thank you much and have a wonderful and blessed weekend.
That's down from 11% over the prior 3 months. That's progress, but a lot of it is a result of getting the cost of living at the gas pump down by more, not even in California now, by more than $1 nationally, and since the start of this summer. There's a big difference for working folks. But the price of gas is still too high, and we need to keep working to bring it down. I'll have more to say about that next week. We also need to make more progress bringing down the prices across the board. That's why I just couldn't disagree more with my Republican friends who say the biggest problem in our economy right now is that working folks are making too much money. No, that's the argument. Workers are making too much money and too many people are working. Too many jobs are being filled. I think that's a bunch, as we already said, a bunch of malarkey. The biggest problem is the world's challenge, global inflation and the pandemic and Putin's unconscionable invasion of Ukraine. Here's the deal. Because of my economic plan, we are better positioned than any other major economy in the world to weather the challenges that come through this as a stronger country. We've created nearly 700,000 manufacturing jobs just in the last 19 months. Businesses are investing here in America at record rates. They see what I see, the resilience of the American people and the potential of building an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. Look, when the middle does well and the bottom has a chance, the wealthy do very well. They never get hurt.
This morning, we received data that highlights once again the failure of the Biden administration to provide for our economy, to provide for the economic well-being of America. At home in Pennsylvania, I've heard stories of parents unable to afford back-to-school clothes and supplies for their children, and patients unable to afford the gas to put in their cars to drive to doctor's appointments. These problems are fruits from the same poisonous tree. Reckless government spending has sent prices skyrocketing across our economy. Instead of addressing this cause, liberals continue to double down by passing their so-called Inflation Reduction Act, while the Congressional Budget Office now reports that this act will increase our deficit through 2026. The fact is simple. President Biden has proven that he is unable to stop the runaway inflation that has raised the cost of housing, raised the cost of groceries, and continues to affect energy sources throughout America. The answer to this crisis will not be found in more government handouts. Now, more than ever, we need to stop the inflation that is crippling our economy and hurting Pennsylvania.
I have one retired grandmother worried about how the rest of her family is making ends meet. She said, "I'm already stressed and trying to figure out how my daughter is going to pay to keep the lights on, get groceries, get school clothes, or her kids back." In Perryopolis, Pennsylvania, one shopper told a reporter that besides cutting back at the grocery store, she had taken on a second job, working nights at a warehouse to help feed her family of 4. This is what she had to say. Clothing, gas, just about everything has gone up, and food is a large part of it. Meanwhile, the head of a small manufacturer in Big Bend, Wisconsin, reports that amid price hikes, stacked up supply chains, quote, trying to source products has been very difficult. In each of these states' cases, West Virginia, Ohio, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, one senator tried to spare working families from all this preventable pain. Each of those states has one Republican senator who warned about inflation, who voted against inflation, and who voted for amendments that would have reduced inflation. But unfortunately, each one of those states also had a Democratic senator who decided to vote in a partisan lockstep to plow ahead with the trillions of dollars in reckless inflationary spending. One senator each from West Virginia, Ohio,